The Haunted Doll. Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Emily. She loved playing with her dolls and had quite the collection of them. One day, she went to a garage sale with her mother and stumbled upon an old, dusty doll that caught her eye. It was a beautiful porcelain doll with long, curly hair and a frilly dress. Emily begged her mother to buy it for her, and reluctantly, her mother agreed. As soon as they got home, Emily began playing with her new doll. But something was different about this particular doll. Whenever Emily played with it, strange things would happen. At first, it was just small things like doors creaking open or objects moving on their own. But then, things started to get more sinister. Emily would wake up in the middle of the night to find the doll sitting at the foot of her bed, its eyes seemingly watching her every move. Emily began to feel like she was being watched all the time, even when the doll wasn't in sight. Her parents brushed it off as her imagination, but Emily knew there was something wrong with the doll. One night, while Emily was sleeping, she heard a faint whisper coming from the corner of her room. It sounded like someone was calling her name. She opened her eyes and saw the doll sitting on her dresser, its mouth moving as if it were trying to speak. Emily was terrified and tried to scream, but no sound came out. She watched as the doll's eyes turned red and its porcelain skin began to crack. Suddenly, the doll leapt off the dresser and ran towards Emily, its arms outstretched. Emily woke up screaming, drenched in sweat. She never played with the doll again, but she could still feel its presence in her room at times. Eventually, her family moved away from the house, but Emily could never shake the feeling that the haunted doll was still watching her, waiting for its next victim. Emily's parents never believed her when she spoke about the doll's strange behavior. They just thought their daughter had an overactive imagination and that the doll was just an ordinary toy. But Emily knew better. She could feel the doll's malevolent energy, its dark aura looming over her like a black cloud. She tried to avoid it as much as possible, but the doll seemed to always find its way back into her life. One day, while Emily was at school, her parents decided to clean up her room. As they were tidying up, they stumbled upon the haunted doll and decided to throw it away. But little did they know, getting rid of the doll would only make things worse. That very night, Emily woke up to the sound of something scratching at her window. When she looked, she saw the haunted doll outside, tapping its porcelain fingers against the glass. Emily screamed for her parents, but they didn't hear her. The doll continued to tap on the window, its eyes glowing in the darkness. Emily was paralyzed with fear, trapped in her own bed as the haunted doll continued to torment her. The next morning, Emily's parents found her clinging to her bed sheets, trembling with terror. They finally realized that there was something seriously wrong with the doll and decided to get rid of it once and for all. They went to the local dump and threw the doll away, hoping that it was gone for good. But that night, Emily heard a voice whispering her name again. She knew that the haunted doll had returned, more powerful than ever. Emily tried to tell her parents, but they just wouldn't listen. They thought that she was making it all up and told her that she needed to face her fears and move on, but Emily knew that she couldn't do it alone. She needed help to defeat the haunted doll once and for all. So, she turned to the only person she knew who could help her, the psychic medium. The medium confirmed Emily's suspicions, telling her that the doll was indeed haunted by a malevolent spirit. But the medium had a solution, a ritual that would banish the spirit from the doll and send it back to where it came from. Emily followed the medium's instructions to the letter and performed the ritual with all her might. And finally, after months of terror, the haunted doll was gone for good. From that day on, Emily knew that she had faced her fears and conquered them. She learned that sometimes, you need to rely on others for help and that there is always a way to overcome even the darkest of nightmares.